Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, feeling like you're stuck in the same place, unable to move forward? Maybe you start your day with the best intentions, but by the time evening rolls around, you're back to square one, overwhelmed, anxious, and questioning your worth. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. We all struggle with self-confidence at times, but what if I told you that the root cause of these feelings could be traced back to a few seemingly harmless habits that quietly undermine your self-belief day after day? In this video, we're going to shine a light on these insidious habits, unravel how they're eroding your confidence, and arm you with the tools to break free. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of what's holding you back and how to start rebuilding your confidence from the ground up. Before we dive into these life-changing insights, if you're passionate about personal growth and want to be part of a community that empowers each other, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can break free from the chains of self-doubt and build a stronger, more confident version of ourselves. 1. The paralysis of perfectionism. Perfectionism is often celebrated as a trait of high achievers, but when it takes over, it becomes a destructive force. Perfectionism isn't about striving for excellence, it's about setting standards so high that they become unattainable. It's a trap that keeps you stuck, convinced that anything less than perfect isn't worth doing at all. The problem with perfectionism is that it paralyzes you. You start projects but never finish them because you're afraid they won't be flawless. You avoid taking risks because the possibility of failure is terrifying. This constant self-criticism erodes your confidence over time because you begin to associate your worth with your ability to meet impossible standards. Think of perfectionism like trying to climb a mountain with a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents an unrealistic expectation you've placed on yourself. As you climb, the weight pulls you down, making every step harder than it needs to be. Eventually you might give up, not because you can't reach the summit, but because the burden you've imposed on yourself is too great. To combat perfectionism, you need to start by recognizing that perfection is an illusion. No one is perfect, and that's okay. Aim for progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins and understand that mistakes are part of the growth process. By doing so, you'll start to lift that heavy burden off your shoulders, allowing your confidence to grow as you move forward with less self-imposed pressure. 2. The comfort zone curse. Your comfort zone is like a warm, cozy blanket. It's familiar, it's safe, and it's where you feel in control. But staying wrapped up in that blanket for too long can be detrimental to your personal growth. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the harder it becomes to step out of it, and this avoidance of discomfort slowly chips away at your confidence. Why? Because confidence is built through experience, through taking on challenges and proving to yourself that you can handle them. When you avoid challenges, you deny yourself the opportunity to grow and strengthen your self-belief. Over time, you begin to doubt your abilities because you're not testing them. Imagine you're in a boat on a calm, shallow lake. It's easy to navigate, and you feel confident in your ability to steer. But what happens when you encounter the open ocean with its vastness and unpredictability? If you've only ever sailed in that shallow lake, you're likely to feel overwhelmed and uncertain in the ocean. The same goes for your comfort zone. The more you stay within its safe confines, the less prepared you are for the bigger challenges life throws at you. To break free from the comfort zone curse, start by taking small steps into unfamiliar territory. It could be as simple as striking up a conversation with someone new, trying a different hobby, or taking on a new responsibility at work. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you'll gain a little more confidence, proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you realized. 3. The comparison trap. In today's digital age, falling into the comparison trap is easier than ever. Social media feeds are filled with snapshots of other people's successes, adventures, and seemingly perfect lives. But we often forget that social media is a highlight reel. an edited version of reality where flaws are hidden and only the best moments are showcased. When you compare your everyday life to someone else's highlight reel, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You start to feel like you're not measuring up, like you're falling behind, or that you're not as good as others. This habit of comparison is toxic because it shifts your focus away from your journey and onto others, making you feel inadequate and insecure. Think of it like trying to run a race while constantly looking over your shoulder at your competitors. Instead of focusing on your path, you're distracted by where others are, and as a result, you lose sight of your progress. This constant comparison not only slows you down, but also diminishes your confidence in your abilities. To escape the comparison trap, start by acknowledging that everyone's journey is unique. You have your strengths, your timeline, and your path to follow. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your growth and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Remember, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. 4. The self-talk saboteur. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your confidence. Negative self-talk is like a shadow that follows you wherever you go, whispering doubts and fears into your ear. Over time, these negative thoughts become a part of your internal dialogue, shaping the way you see yourself and your abilities. The problem with negative self-talk is that it's often irrational and exaggerated, but because it's coming from within, you tend to believe it. You start to internalize these negative messages, and they become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you'll start to act in ways that reinforce that belief, further eroding your confidence. Imagine trying to build a house, but every time you lay a brick, a voice in your head tells you that it's not good enough and you should tear it down. Eventually, you'll find yourself standing in front of a pile of rubble, wondering why you can't make any progress. This is what negative self-talk does to your confidence. It sabotages your efforts to build a strong, secure sense of self-worth. To silence the self-talk saboteur, start by challenging your negative thoughts. Ask yourself if they're based on facts or if they're just assumptions. Replace negative statements with positive affirmations that reinforce your strengths and capabilities. Over time, as you cultivate a more positive internal dialogue, you'll start to see your confidence grow, brick by brick. Conclusion: rebuilding your confidence one step at a time. Breaking free from these bad habits isn't something that happens overnight, but with awareness and effort, it is possible. Remember, confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through your actions, your choices, and your mindset. By recognizing and changing these destructive habits, you can start to rebuild your confidence one step at a time. Each time you let go of perfectionism, you're choosing progress over paralysis. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you're expanding your horizons and proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Each time you focus on your journey instead of comparing yourself to others, you're strengthening your sense of self-worth. And each time you replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations, you're laying a stronger foundation for your confidence to grow. So, as you go about your day, pay attention to these habits and make a conscious effort to shift them. It won't be easy, but remember, every small change you make is a victory. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the confident, empowered version of yourself that you deserve to be. If you found this video helpful, please consider sharing it with someone who might need it. And if you're ready to continue your journey toward greater self-confidence, check out these videos right here. Remember, the only enemy you have to defeat is yourself. Until next time, stay strong, stay confident, and keep growing.